call the meeting to order of the Board of Trustees of Delhi Township for December the 28th, 2022. We will begin tonight's meeting with first the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. And for tonight's moment of silence, I would just like to take a pause for all those families out there that maybe experienced an empty seat at your holiday table. Let's remember all those we lost in our prayers. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right, Mr. Luby, let's start this meeting with the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees regular meeting on December 14th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees special meeting on December 6th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees special meeting on December 10th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees special meeting on December 19th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending December 13th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Report from our fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2022-198, resolution making appropriations of funds for expenditures as amended during the budget hearing during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Lemon?
Only that I enjoyed working with the department heads. They did an incredible job. They were very cooperative and very helpful. I thank Mr. Luby for his assistance as well. I think the result was a very good budget, that appropriation for next year that will represent what we anticipate happening. So I feel very good about that budget, and I feel comfortable about turning it over to Skylar to make sure that.
Good, thank you. Any other comments?
No.
All right, then.
I'll move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes. Resolution passes. We'd all like to extend our big thank you to our department heads for their work and their diligence in developing a budget that is, it's good. It's livable, and we'll have a great year next year. And Mr. Lemon, thank you for your tutelage through this, and Skylar, it will be yours to police. All right, and special thanks again to Mr. Luby for his help on this. Okay,
Significant transactions since the last meeting. On 12/27, we cut a check to Huntington Bank for $159,745, and that's for the Town Square bond payment. On 12/22, our payroll was $341,000, and on 12/13, we had a deposit for $27,000 from the Department of Liquor. That's all I have.
thank you. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Davis.
Not at this time.
Trustee Surts.
No, nothing at this time. Thank you.
I would just like to thank everyone for having a safe holiday. We have another one coming up. Let's make sure that we get through this next one. Happy New Year, and everyone drive safely and drive sober. So that's my correspondence to you. That's my public service announcement. So there you go. All right, into the departments then. Fire Department, Chief Campbell, you want to give us a quick update?
Yes, thank you, trustees. So, as I brought to your attention last week, we were preparing for the end of the year, this polar express vortex coming down. So, in part of our planning, one of the things that the fire department relies on heavily with any fire, any event, is mutual aid. And one of the things you can't count on during a blizzard is mutual aid. You know, other jurisdictions have a lot to cover in there, and their resources are stretched thin. So, proactively, we went ahead and implemented a 36-hour power shift. We brought in additional personnel to cover the township. That included an additional engine, a backup ambulance, all for the resources. And it's something that we just didn't take lightly. The idea that we weren't sending crews home when they were done with their shift. We held them over for 12 hours, and we had 12-hour people coming in early. So even our personnel and our employees were not on the road a whole lot during that period of time. It was all part of our process. Nobody was mandated in or anything like that. We worked through in the planning stages. But the end result in that 36 hours is we did get 17 calls for service. The secondary ambulance out of Greenwell, so we put 2 ambulances at Greenwell, covered half those details. So rather than have an ambulance come out of the jurisdiction, the central, like we normally would under normal road conditions, it did cover it. And we had that additional engine called out as well. I think the crews did phenomenal, the best they could with what they had. You know, certainly it's a tremendous amount of support, but we also, as a contingency, said, hey, we'd like to have the senior center available to us if we have anybody. We had one resident that did not have heat that had called for fire. And when they got there, they were able to transport him, and with coordination with the police, obviously, we were able to give them a safe place to be for that time
Right.
period. So I think that's why we do it. All in all, that 17 runs, you know, during that power shift, it doesn't sound like a lot, but, I mean, they did 26 details, just the fire department, on Christmas Day. In all, 61 for that entire event. So it was definitely a significant event for our jurisdiction. We handle a lot of emergency property calls, folks with water main breaks. You hear it all over the news and stuff, but things that impact our folks. And when you're talking negative wind chills, you know, it's not fun to be out there and do it. So my hat's off to the crew. Thank you for the board for understanding, you know, why we go through this level of planning and things like that. And again, my hope is we plan for it and it just never happens. We've overplanned it, but it did actually happen. So on that, for the end of the year, you know, we still have a couple days left. We're already close to 4,200 runs for the year. That's a 10% increase over just last year. That's significant. So there is a tremendous use of our service. We can stand behind every call. You know, we talk about response times and what we're able to accomplish. We're almost to the point where we need to talk about how much more we have to look at in terms of service to keep up with that volume. So that 4,200 runs is not all mutual aid. It's just a significant call from our jurisdiction and the things we have as we grow as a population. So again, I just wanted to thank you all for the support and everything that you've kind of given us for this year, and just let you know that the fruits of the labor are paying off big time.
Well, Doug, on behalf of this board, I don't think we could say thank you to you enough. Our residents feel safe, and we hope that they practice safety in their homes. And wow, 10% increase over the previous year. That is a lot of activity on a fire department.
Yeah,
a
that's nearly
lot.
400 more runs. So
And we are so proud that Delhi is really a safe place to be. And that's because of yourself and your department and our police department. And we're just so grateful. Trustee Davis?
Oh, I concur, and it's, as you said, as we grow, and we will be continuing, obviously, with all the traffic, all the construction, Delhi Town Square, the other senior center that's looking, your numbers are going to continue to go and grow, and we'll adjust as we did it. Because that's the bottom line. It's keeping your residents safe, and I think we do a damn good job doing that. So thank you, chiefs.
Trustee Sturts?
Yes, and we're still maintaining an average 4-minute response time.
yes, yeah, we're under 5 minutes for the year, even with that number. I mean, just put more of a strain. We have, you know, longer response times to account for that when we have ambulances out. But I mean, if we can kind of plan for these contingencies and kind of work through those, it's worked in our favor. And my hat's off to all the staff, you know, firefighters, all safety personnel. You know, ultimately under these conditions, this is the hardest time to work in.
you know. So they did a fantastic job.
Thank you
Mr.
to our
Luby?
crew, yeah.
Nope, I agree with everything you have said.
All right,
You got
thank
a
you.
great team.
Thank
You
you.
do. Thank you so much, Chief. Parks and Recreation, I think you're going to probably take that, Mr. Lemon?
Yes.
You have a motion?
The election board has asked us to provide space at the lodge and community senior centers polling places for the next 2 years, 23 and 24, and we've agreed to do that, so we would appreciate you approving the resolution.
Okay. Mr. Luby?
Motion to execute rental agreements with the Hamilton County Board of Elections for their use of the Delhi, of the Park Lodge and the Community Senior Center as polling places for calendar years 2023 and 2024.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor? Yes. Motion approved. Police Department, anything, Chief? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy safe New Year. Okay. And any update on speeders on Delhi Pike? Red light violations?
Both.
Both? We're on it? Good. Everyone, beware. Beware. All right, Public
Seriously,
Works?
Seriously.
Seriously.
We just flew through that. People that are watching, we're watching, and hopefully, and I haven't seen it yet, I'm hoping to see more of it with our police department up there with actually people pulled over for running red lights, or even a cop sitting there so they know that there's somebody in the area. I go up and down the Pike all the time, all day long, and I would love to see more myself. It's absolutely crazy what's happening. People think that the red lights are optional, or we just go around. People that stop at the red lights, we just go around them. Not in Delhi, people. You pull that stuff in the city or wherever else. Not in Delhi. We just talked about keeping our residents safe, and it's no joke. So, and how much is that? You're running a red light in Delhi. How much of a ticket is that? $130. So there you go. Put a couple of those out, then put that on Nextdoor and put those real true community service messages out there where they should belong. If I had an opinion, that's what I'd say.
If you did. Okay, that's good. Nothing then further from the Police Department. Public Works, John?
I was just going to say, our crews have been out working all through the storm. Wanted to let everybody know that. They did a great job. We had a little bit of difficulty with the salt was freezing on us with the cold temperatures that we were dealing with, so we had to go back and dump the trucks a couple times. But we made that through pretty easily through that part. But we got more salt delivered yesterday, actually. We had plenty of salt in our dome. We got another 140 tons, so we have plenty of salt for the next event. But other than that, we didn't have minimal breakdowns and issues out there. So other than that, the storm went pretty good for us.
All right. Hey, John, just as a reminder to everybody, some streets belong to the county that we are not responsible for cleaning.
Yes.
And what's the easiest way to know that you're on a county road?
Any road that's 35 mile an hour or more is Hamilton County engineers maintain.
And double yellows.
And WS, yes, correct.
Okay. All right.
And what?
Double
Double
yellow.
yellow.
Double yellow,
Yeah.
good way to tell.
What was I going to say about that? Dang. How many miles are in Delhi that we have? How many people on? We had, what, a crew of 5?
We have 5 trucks out.
5 trucks, and how many miles are they covering?
We're roughly about 55 lane miles of road that we cover.
Okay, just so the people who are out there realize that,
Yes.
just because you don't see a truck coming down 3
We're out
times a
there.
day on there, there's 55 miles to cover, and 5 people are doing it. So thank you. And the overtime, I can't thank them enough. This is the holidays, and they're away from their family and friends, and when they do get home, then they should sleep because they're only allowed to be on the road so long too. Correct?
Yes. Right.
So there's lots of different things that go into this, ladies and gentlemen. So be blessed that you have the crew that you have.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you to your entire crew. All right. Administration, Mr. Lemon, and I have a resolution here, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2022-199, a resolution establishing pay rates during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I want to introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? No, I believe we've gone through them all, reviewed them. All right, we're ready to go.
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2022-200, resolution appointing financial advisory board, amending and restating the organization structure and responsibilities, and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion on this resolution?
I will just mention that everyone is coming back.
Great, great.
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes, and thank you to the FAB board members. You do a great service to this community by helping us with those, 6 or 7 sets of eyes, reviewing all of our numbers, and you're really appreciated. Thank you so much. Resolution, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2022-201, resolution authorizing lease agreements with Great American Financial Services Corporation for the Sharp copier systems for administration, parks and recreation, and public works departments.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I would just thank our solicitor for working on the leases to assure that the change is necessary to ensure that they're executed in the state of Ohio rather than, I believe, Arizona. A lot of effort, it took a lot of effort, needless to say, but we finally managed to do that, so we are ready to move forward with the execution of the contract.
All right, thank you.
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2022-202, resolution adopting rules under RC Section 121.22F and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes, resolution passes. All right, then, community development. And I guess that's you again, Mr. Lemon. All right.
Before we move on to that, I would like to show my regular update pictures.
Sure.
Oh, yes, yes, pictures.
So this is the town square aerials as very recently.
Now, what's going to be going on in there?
Yeah, what's going on up on the pike?
Now they're moving there.
Red light training.
So you can see it's really starting to take shape. And believe me, after the first of the year, you're going to see some incredible work going on. And people won't be asking those questions any longer. So there's going to be a lot of movement taking place in January. This week, it's been obviously rather slow because of the holidays, and so everybody will be ready to go next week. And
30 below affected their working ability?
I'm sorry.
30 below wind chill?
Oh no. These guys are tough. They want to see this on time. And then just a couple more pictures, and you can obviously see the pads that are going in for the buildings, and so a lot of concrete's been down, blacktop down, and now we're just waiting for the structures to come up out of the ground. That's going to happen very, very quickly.
Great.
Okay. Community, one more thing. I have to tell you that on last Saturday morning, I put my dog out at 6:30 in the morning. The wind chill was minus 33, and I couldn't help but think about the guys here in Delhi, out on those streets, from Public Works and parks, the first responders, the police, the fire out there, taking care of the community while we're all snuggled in our beds trying to keep warm. And I just want to express a great deal of appreciation, as you have, for everything that they did
Yes.
Really. Big dittos from all of us, that's for sure.
Okay, under community development, we have reappointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals for Stephen G. Schott for a 5-year term. He has agreed to re-enlist, and he's looking for hazardous duty pay.
Sounds like Steve.
All right.
We need a motion to reappoint.
Yep. Mr. Luby, motion, please.
Motion to reappoint Stephen G. Schott to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a 5-year term effective January 1st, 2023, ending December 31st, 2027.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to reappoint Daniel F. Burke Jr. to the Board of Zoning Commission for a 5-year term effective January 1st, 2023, ending December 31st, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved. All right, I have no public comments signed in for the evening, so what is the announcement of community events, Mr. Luby?
We have a Delhi Township Christmas live tree recycling program, and that's January 2nd through January 9th. The drop-off location is at Floral Paradise Gardens on Greenwell Road, and you can call the Parks Department for more details. The Delhi Historical Society program, Cincinnati's Lost Architects, Joseph and Bernard Steinkamp, is Monday, January 9th from 7 to 8 p.m., and that'll be at the Delhi Park Lodge. Dr. Thomas Connor will talk about the many iconic Cincinnati buildings designed by Joseph and Bernard Steinkamp. That's all we have.
All right, thank you. We do have need for executive session tonight, so if we could have that motion, please, Mr. Luby?
Motion to retire to executive
Madam Chair,
session.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. May I have 2 minutes time, please? Not about this, and you can time me, yes. Thank you. I just want to say, maybe it's the spirit of the new year, maybe my heart grew 4 times, I'm not sure which, but I just want to commend the team that you have here, starting with the trustees. You know, I've been honored to be law director for 4 years now. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I really appreciate working with this board under their leadership. I'm honored to do so and happy to wear Delhi on my chest. So thank you for that opportunity and for that continued opportunity. It is a career highlight for me. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it and want to do it as long as you guys want to have me. So thank you. And with that leadership then comes the team that you've assembled. Part of that, and the team has gone through some transition this year. And despite that transition, the Delhi residents haven't seen one bit of service drop-off or one bit of consternation about it. Things have continued as if there hasn't been any transition at all. And that's a credit, first of all, to the board, but then it's also a credit to these people sitting right there. And it's been my honor to work with all of them and be part of the team. And that's what I really feel like I'm part of the team. I'm not the no or the speed bump, though I can be at times, a no and a speed bump, but I try not to be. And so I appreciate the opportunity to work with all of you as part of this team. I look forward to working with Mr. Miller as well. We had lunch today, and he's already smart enough to let me pick up the check. So you've got a real good negotiator there already. So he's also already talking about my rates. So you guys have picked a good one there. I'll say something about Mr. Lemon next time because I just realized that this isn't his last meeting yet. But I've enjoyed working with all of you, and I appreciate the opportunity to do so. Again, it starts with this board, and then it emanates from there. And you got a great staff, and you're going to have a great administrator, and so I appreciate the opportunity. And so I just wanted to say thanks, and I'm glad to be part of the team. And I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I wish them a Happy New Year, and I would say OH.
I.O.
There you go. Thank you.
Just in case. Brian, we couldn't have gotten through some of the issues of the past year without having the faith and confidence in following your lead as our law director. I mean, we've had things that we just never even thought of before. And, with Brian's leadership, we've stayed on the straight and narrow, and we really, really appreciate it. You've been a great addition to our team for the past 4 years, and hopefully we'll continue to see that in the next, maybe 4 months. No, for as long as we can keep you. So,
you, Cheryl.
anyone else, Mr. Davis?
No, I think the same, and wherever you land, Brian, I hope it works out for you. And
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Yeah. Trustee Sturts?
No, same as what Trustee Seavey said, but we really appreciate you having the resources to bring us Mike Lemon, to fill in without missing a step, to be able to bring in Mike Hennenkamp to be able to help us on the search for an administrator, and giving us Mr. Miller. So your resources and your knowledge and keeping us in line and telling us, don't go there. We appreciate it. We trust you, and that's very important for us and the law director. So thank you for keeping us on the straight and narrow.
And I would say it's your balanced approach of which you handle things seriously. It's so easy with so much that goes on. It seems so scripted when we're doing the meetings. The motion and this and there's so much that goes on behind that we have to make sure that we do things legally. By the state what they want. So there's a lot going on. So we do, like Rose said, we trust you. But I just like the balance of what you have, your sense of humor, your professionalism, your intelligence, and with what you do. We benefit, they benefit, the residents benefit. So thank you, and thank you for saying yes to Delhi.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Luby, let's hear a motion for executive session.
Sorry, Madam Chair, one other thing. Did I give you the other one? It's also imminent litigation, too, besides.
Yep, I got
Okay,
it.
all right.
I got it. Motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of a public employee of the township, and to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance, and imminent litigation.
Easy for you to say.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss-
Could I have a roll call, Mr. Luby?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes. Motion approved. Well, everyone, this is our last meeting for 2022. We're about ready to start on a very happy and prosperous new year, and we wish you all to have a very safe and enjoyable New Year's, and we'll see you here in 2023. Thanks so much.